Tapping into the power of my heart, my voice. Hello, Chelsea. Coming into prayer and gratitude to start this live. I just meditated for, I don't know for how long. I was just seated right here, my feet on the ground, because I knew I wanted to come on live. I knew I had this transmission. I wanted to share many things that were coming. But I was really scattered, and I felt those old patterns of I need to prove myself, I need to show, I need to perform, and that is not what I welcome into my life. That is not what I tolerate now. So if you're watching that on replay, I invite you to just take a moment with me, take a breath, wherever you are. Just allow that breath to relax your body even more, even if you feel already super relaxed. To just tap into yourself, coming home to yourself. This is a very hard, very difficult moment right here. Usually when I'm in that mood, that aspect of me, this moment of integration, I don't show up. I don't give myself permission to be seen in those moments. But one of my intentions lately is giving myself permission to be seen in every aspect of me, and that's also part of me. That's also why people love me for me. This is also one of my gifts, is to going through different phases and different mood, different energies. So it's a more integrative, calm, tender, soft version of me right now. I feel like I have less protection, I have less, I'm more naked right now. I feel more naked. Because I'm not in this, oh my God, I'm so inspired, I'm gonna share, and it's gonna be so amazing because I have this energy, and I go, I'm more in we're good, but there is still things that I want to share. There is still things that wants to come through. One of that is, I don't know where to start. I want to share a story of what happened. Salut Jean. What happened yesterday night. I felt called to come into a little ritual and ceremony for myself. So I was actually right here where I'm standing. I felt called to light 5 candles and to put my crystals and to have water and to pick up some flowers and leaves from the garden. It was the middle of the night. And, oh, that's strange. Okay. And I guided myself through that ritual, because what have came through lately is very clearly is I am my own medicine. I am the shaman. I am the healer. I don't need anything else outside myself to fully activate my gifts and to fully activate my power. And that's one of the things I want to share, because I know what it feels Like there's always this part of me that feels like I need a new mentor. I need a new healer. I need to journey with psychedelics. I need this next meditation. Hello, welcome. I need something else in order to activate my power. And one of the reasons why I am who I am today, and this morning I was telling to a friend, like, I'm just in this process of integration. Salut Claire. Of integration of the person that I am today is way beyond everything that I ever wished or everything that I thought was possible. And I get caught up in the daily, working and living and doing my rituals and everything. So I'm always looking forward into the future, into what I'm becoming, into how I can grow more and ascend more and be more and do more and just like this forward vision. But the truth is, today I took a step back and I looked and I was like, I almost can't believe who I am. It's far beyond everything that I ever dreamed. And I'm not talking about the outside world. The outside world, like everything outside myself, is wonderful. I'm fulfilled in my work. I have beautiful relationships. I made peace with a lot of people and situations from the past. The outside is great. The outside is amazing, actually. I'm so grateful. But I'm amazed about my inner world. That's the most, that is really what is blowing my mind. And yesterday I made this circle with the candles. And as I was in the circle, I was guiding myself through my own voice, voicing out what I was releasing. That was a ceremony of letting parts of myself die. And I really wanted to use the element of fire to alchemize that past version of me, burning, disappearing, dying. That has been really present lately in my life because, I've changed my name. So it's like a part of me died and a new me was birthed. And it's not like it happened like this, it's the process of, especially the past 4 months that have been very intense in this growth and ascension. And as I was guiding myself through that practice and using my voice, the tone of my voice, my own voice healing myself, me being, in this case, the shaman, I was in a trance. I was in a trance and I was like, and I looked at myself from a higher perspective and I'm like, oh my God, I knew it existed. I knew I had those powers, but I never knew they will be fully activated one day. And I was looking at other people and putting them on a pedestal of they're so awakened, they're so spiritual, they're so liberated, they're so confident, they're, those other people. But never thought I would be there in full devotion to my inner divinity and my voice. I think the crazy thing lately is my voice. It's been 4 months that I got my voice back, that I'm able to express myself in a way that is real, in a way that feels aligned, in the way that my own voice is my own medicine. I spend hours and hours of talking to myself. And when yesterday I had this voice of of a priestess, of a healer, of a shaman, like this, this presence in my voice of like, I can feel myself. I can experience myself through that voicing, through that expression. And every words that I was expressing, I was letting go of my name. I was letting go of some unresolved childhood traumas. I was letting go of this desire to prove. I was letting go of this desire to be loved and to be liked. I was letting go of self-doubts. I was letting go of self-hatred. And I was so intentional. And this is also a big part of unlocking my gifts lately. There is a degree in intention in everything that I do. I've reconnected with that aspect of me that I love so much, where I come in prayer with everything that I do. When I cook my food, I'm thankful for the people that planted, harvested, watered, cultivated this food that I'm able to eat. The people in the shop that sell that food, the people that transported that food, the technology that we created so we can have this access to this food. The fact that nature put so much flavors and juiciness and nutrients and stuff that are gonna give us energy. I come into prayer for the moment to be able to experience this present moment. And if I eat with someone, I will come in reverence also for the connection and the ability that we have to share a meal. In my work, everything have changed. When you don't come from that perspective of, I need to prove that I'm good in what I do, I need to prove that I'm valuable, I need to prove my worth. When you don't come from that attitude, when you just know you're in the medicine, you know you're good at what you do, you know that. And it's a matter of intention. Of course, in my work, I work with spirits. I work with different realms, different dimensions. It's not just a work in the 3D where we're gonna do that will be like the mindset part. I guess I could describe it like this, of what I do, but there is so much more in what I share. It's a matter of energy, of frequency. I work with my guides, I work with my teams, my spirit guides, my angels. So of course the intention matters. Of course, coming into prayer, coming into connection to the divine, this is so important. Hello, welcome. Of course. I'm so annoyed by this music. That was my yoga playlist and I don't know what is this music. I'm annoyed. So you know what? When you don't like something, you can act on it. Even in the middle of life. Okay. Yeah. Cool. No more music, just the sound of my voice. I guess I'm sharing all of that because I realized that the more I spend time with people that are fully embodied and that own their gift and that are able to be seen in every aspect of who they are, the more I spend time with this kind of people, the more it activates this thing inside of me. And what I've been dealing with that was pretty hard the last few weeks was comparison. Like, I was questioning everything that I've learned in my business. As I told you, I just changed the way I worked. I come into prayer, into infusing, I talked about it yesterday, but infusing my intention in everything that I do, in everything that I create. Even before coming here on this live, I was like, I want to make sure I'm not coming in that energy of I need to prove that I have something to share and it needs to be perfect and I need to be a certain way that is not me because of everything that I see online, because of... So again, it mixes with... Actually, I'm going in every direction today. Bear with me. Actually, I wanted to record a podcast. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna plug my mic and I'm gonna record a podcast, because my podcast is like, I don't care. My podcast, I'm usually sitting on my bed and I'm like, oh, I need to express, I need to talk, I'm just gonna do it. But the fact that there is the video on a live, I was like, my intention lately is to give myself permission to be seen. So let's jump on a live. Even if I am not makeup and my hair were crazy, but I found solution, a good filter and something on my head and good. And it's crazy because my phone is doing something crazy during this live. Like, I have almost no light, so it's very difficult to see myself. But I'm so grateful for it because I can look at the camera more and be like, this is not about me. This is not about me. This is not about the way I look. This is not about all of that. This is about coming, letting myself be seen, because when I give myself permission to do that, I give permission to others to do that. And there is just so much coming through. I'm going everywhere. So I wanted to record a podcast because I was at so yesterday was so intense. I let a part of me die, but I also then I called in new things. And one of the things I let go is that fear of my own intuitive and psychic gifts, because it has been really awakened lately. And like I've always worked with my intuition. I'm a very intuitive being. I'm really connected. But lately it's like, oh my God, this is scary. What is happening? Like, this world is made of magic. And like, I didn't know that I had access to this kind of information, and I didn't know. And there's a part of me that is freaked out about it. So I was like, I released the fear of my own powers and my own gifts. And then on the part of like welcoming something in, I was like, I welcome in my powers. I'm ready to be activated. I'm ready to tap into my own power, my own connection to source, my own medicine. So yeah, there is this thing also about leadership. Like, I never consider myself as a leader. Like, to me, a leader was like, I joked about it lately in my French woman circle. I was like, this is Jérôme the CEO, like that's the way I think society think about a leader. At least that was the way I saw it, the way it was presented in, my environment, the environment I grew up in, the media, even the business school, like I had those classes about leadership. And oh my God, I'm realizing what it is. It's first being your own leader. And to me, this is extremely scary, because I'm like, I don't have what it takes. I'm not a leader. That's what I thought, It's like, I don't have what it takes. I'm not this super like masculine and confident and like I'm gonna, I don't have this Tony Robbins kind of energy of like, I'm here and you can do it, and like No, there is moment where I just sat down here and I'm like super vulnerable and tender, and so it questioned the way I see leadership. But I realized being a leader is just like you forge your own path, you don't follow. And because I've navigated through being a yoga teacher and being a Reiki practitioner and being a coach and being a mentor of this, and using Tantra and using Reiki and using Kundalini and using different influences, feminine embodiment, and having all those labels, I'm like, oh my god, I need to be that combination of everything, because that's what I cannot define myself in one box. But then I was like, actually, like, no, like, I don't have to follow all those paths that have been already paved before me. I get to decide. I get to decide what is my own medicine. I get to decide how I work with my clients, even if it doesn't exist out there. I don't have to copy anything. And this is way, way more scary than just like, oh, you experienced something you really liked, it really healed you, it really helped you in your process, so let's just take that, make it my own, and bring it to the world. What is happening lately? So I think that's what I've been doing, and I'm really good at doing that. I'm really, really good at taking many different trainings and philosophy and practices and combining them together, so then I create my own thing. I'm super good at this, and I love that about me, because I really make it my own thing. If you experience one of my teaching ever or healing modalities that I offer, you know that is completely unique, and that is not like the traditional way. Either you came into one of my yoga class, an embodiment class, like, this is a mix of many different things. There is no structure, there is no way of doing things, and this is really me. But now what is being burst through me, it's so much deeper. It's like there is no paved path before me. This is me. I get to choose. I get to decide. And this is so damn exciting. This is so damn exciting. But there's a part of me that freaks out. And it reminds me of the moment when I finished my studies. So if you don't know already, I come from a business school background. I did a business school. And at the end of my studies, I was completely lost. I was like, oh my god, what I'm gonna do? I'm so lost. That's also the moment of my life, like a few months prior to finishing my final thesis, my master thesis. I was like, I had an abortion. That was a very, very complicated moment of my life. Felt completely lost, completely broken. I was starting to have, like, my relationship with my ex-partner was really not that good anymore. And then I get to focus on my master thesis, and my subject was how to bring meaning into the professional world. Because yes, I did a business school, but I really tried to make it so that I don't feel like I'm losing a part of my soul, because it was already super difficult to be in this environment for me. And so I always choose, like yoga classes in my business school, and hello, and like sustainabilities and new ways of managing people and leadership classes and all these things that were a bit out of the usual business school, like out of like the marketing and the communication and luxury stuff and all of that. Anyway, so did my master thesis on finding meaning and having purpose, because literally that has been the line, how to say, oh my god, was talking about my voice and my expression, sometimes language mixes in my head, and I'm like, oh. So, finding meaning and having purpose and meaning in everything that I do, that was always part of my life. Like since I'm born, at least as much as I can remember. So it was really meaningful for me to do this master thesis, but while I was writing it, I was like, oh my God, I'm spending hours and hours a day writing a thesis about meaning, and I have no fucking clue what I'm gonna do with my life. There is no meaning in my life whatsoever right now, and I spend my days reading about it, writing about it. This is so frustrating. And then I finished my thesis, and they were just nothing. Because prior to that in my studies, I've been really influenced by pleasing my parents and what they expected for me to do, the path that they wanted me to follow. So it was already paved for me. And you know, when you go the next year, and you know, you go from your license to your master, and it's just all paved before you. But at the end of that, I was like, what do I do now? I was seeing all my friends from the business school like getting those jobs and stuff, and I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. There's no way I'm going back to an office job. There's no way. And that was the most exciting and scary time of my life, because I was like, this is it. I get to decide. I get to decide. There is no path paved before me, so I get to be the leader. I get to decide. I get to choose. This is exciting, but that's so freaking scary when you never did, when you always followed what you thought was the thing to do. So, circling back to leadership, this is kind of the same time in my life right now where I'm like, now I choose basically everything that I do. Like, I choose when I work, I choose what I do, I choose what I offer, I choose my clients, I get to choose everything basically, which is a fucking damn amazing. Like, I knew it was possible. I saw other people doing it, and I really wanted it for myself, but I was like, oh, how can I make it work for me? And now I'm in it. So that's what happened. That's what happened this morning. I was like sitting on my desk wanting to record this fucking podcast that I'm trying to talk about, but I'm just like going everywhere. And I was like, just 1 year ago, a little bit more than 1 year ago, I just had this vision of me on my bike in Netherlands at 4 a.m. in the cold with my shitty bike, going to work when I worked in a factory, when I was doing production line factory. I was a production line, like I was working on the line in a factory with food. And I remember I just had this image of myself biking in the rain and just like going to work on my shitty bike and giving everything to be on time. And it was like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and crying, and like not even crying. Like, I remember being on my bike and like wanting to cry because of the cold, the wind, like my shitty bike not working, and like, and I was like telling myself, you better not cry, otherwise we won't make it to work, so you better not cry. And then making it to work, and I had the image are so strong. The feeling that I have, my whole body is going like, stepping into the factory and just changing your clothes and putting those things on the head, and then going to work in the factory with no natural light, being surrounded by really not nice people. Like, it was such a hostile environment for me. Like, the work itself was the hardest thing I ever did. but the environment, the way people interacted, the way people were so mean for me. Oh my god, it was so hard. Thankfully, I was working like my boss, like not my boss, but the leader of my line was my girlfriend. So thankfully she was here. Thankfully I was not alone in this environment. But that's what I got to do in order to be able to teach yoga on the side and do really what I wanted, but just yoga alone was not paying the bills. And I just had this memory this morning because I got so absorbed by this ascension that I'm going through right now. And I'm like, just a little bit more than a year ago, I was on that shitty bike going to the factory. And I was exhausted. My body was exhausted. Every time I went there were a point that even then when I went to teach yoga, that was like the reason why I was also doing this shitty work. And you know, I was questioning myself so much, like why am I doing that? I have a fucking master degree in a business school. I could have such a better work, a better job. Why am I doing that? You know? One of the biggest reasons was for love, because I moved to Netherlands and I didn't speak the language, so it's very complicated also, like, to find and to stay in the city, the small city that I was. And I moved because of love, because I found love in Bali and I followed her to Netherlands. But another reason is like I was not confident enough to be full-time on the yoga. Like I didn't I didn't felt like I had what it take, or I didn't put enough effort. I don't know. But I'm starting to be so hot. The sun is coming and it was so cold and now it's so hot. Just gonna open a little bit to have some air. So anyway, I'm saying all this shit. I don't know, like that's exactly the way I function in my podcast. Like I just get so absorbed by my story, and I just hope that this will, just by being an open book, just by allowing myself to be seen and telling my story, like it will inspire someone to know that everything they desire is possible, and to hold on to the vision. I think that was my intention in the beginning, stepping into that life, is like holding on to the vision. Because so 1 year ago, really, I, COVID and everything, the factory fired half of the people, me included. The yoga studio closed. So I always had this entrepreneur mindset anyway of like, okay, there's something, like, I think the same day I lost my 2 jobs, the same day or the next day, I was already offering yoga online. I was like, this is it. This is what I do now. There's like, I'm really resilient. And I started like this, but then I was like, oh, this is the moment. Like when I teach yoga in real life, I love to give more than yoga, and I've always been a coach, like my entire life. I love people coming at me with problems, and I love to guide them through their own knowing and their own solution, because the solution is always inside. And I just love to connect, and I just love to hold space, and I have this power that I didn't realize was a gift, but of seeing the potential of someone, seeing what someone is capable of, even when they're not able to see it themselves. And now, as I said, the past 4 months, it has been also deconstructing everything that I've learned in my business, the way I function, the way I'm trying to fit to an image or to something that I think I should be doing, and being my own leader. So I can be just a leader, actually. And I can forge my own path. So if you experience my teaching, if you experience my presence, if you experience my support, if you experience me as a mentor, you really experience me, my own medicine. And it's not even really about me, it's about who you are becoming in the contact of me. We are drawn to some people for a reason. So that's why I'm really letting go of this. I need to prove that I'm a good mentor. I need to prove that my work is great. I need to prove this, because I don't need to prove. The right people will come to me. They will feel attracted by me being real, me being myself, me going through the shit. That's also something that came through that I wanted to share. This live is going to be long. I love it. The past 4 months have been so deeply transformative that I don't realize how much I actually changed. And that's why this morning I was like, oh my God, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of the person you became. I'm so proud of you expressing yourself and showing up and just being here. And I feel so real right now with you. There is no one right now live with me, but you will be live with me if you come across this video and we are together and we are connecting and we are in the present moment together. So I feel so real, and I never thought it could be, and I never thought I will liberate myself so much that I can actually also bring people in that energy, that I could liberate myself so much that I actually guide and support others to do the same, but in their own way, because that's always been my belief. And that's where I was a bit out of alignment when I tried, to apply some healing modalities and to give it to my students, to give it to the people that I was mentoring. And so there's this whole thing of like, oh my God, I'm so blessed that we hold on to the vision, and I'm so proud of like everything that happened. And I wanted to share that. And as I'm removing everything and deciding with all my intention of what I want my life to look like, how I want my mission, my service to the world to look like, how I want to relate with myself, how I want to relate with others, as I'm like removing all this shit and deciding consciously what is it that I want in every details, to create exactly what I want, to create the life that is perfect to me. That is what I believe in. This is okay. I decided that I'm gonna do the rules of my life, and I've shared that this morning in my story. The first rule is I ask, I receive. I realized that I was blocking my receiving in terms of love, compliment, reassurance, money, confidence, good things, opportunities, people, connection, whatever. I was just blocking the receiving part. And I was like, and then when I was asking, but I came from that place of like, oh, poor little thing, victimhood. So this rule is just, no, I ask, I receive, and I see it. I open my eyes to see that when I actually ask for something, I always receive, always. So every morning I come into meditation, I come into prayer, and I ask, what is it that I want today? What is it that I want? I ask consciously. There is a beautiful butterfly. Oh my God, he is so pretty. And I receive, and I open myself to receive. That's my rule number 1. And what I wanted to share about that is that also, as I'm opening myself to receive exactly what I want, not just like struggling to create what I want, to create the type of relationship I want with myself, with others, to create, my perfect job, to create my identity, to create myself. When I ask, the shit that I don't want to see, all the shit that needs to be purified in order to step into what I really want, into this next version of me. Next version. Into that version of me that I truly am at the core, that is not outside myself, that is not in the future, but who I am. Like, there are tons of shit coming up to the surface that, you know, you cannot lie, you cannot turn, you cannot gaze away, look away, and you have to fix it. And this is challenging, but this is cool, this is amazing, I love doing this work. I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about, like, working on myself. And that's why it became my job. That's why I support people in this journey, because there is no better thing than working on yourself, seeing how deep you can transform your inner world, tap into your gifts, tap into your truth, and how the outside world will change. And this morning I was talking to my dear friend Fenica Fox. Another butterfly! Woo, I need a third one. He's so beautiful. This one is white and the one before was like orange. So beautiful. And she said something. She was like, because I said to her, like, who am I? Like, who am I right now? Who I am? Well, whatever. Is exactly everything that I ever wanted. And this connection that I had with her, that we were talking, you know, we were exchanging audios. And this, and my you know, the new offer that I'm coming with, and the intention behind the way I'm working, the coach and the mentor that I called in, the healers that I experience right now, the people that I have around me, this is everything I ever wanted. And she told me, like, this morning she replied and she was like, yeah, we're at this point of our lives where we have everything that we want. Like, everything that we want. This is it. And we were like, oh my God. And just feeling so much gratitude, so much, hello Victory, so much gratitude for everything, like, for being, like, you know, when you can lean back and look at your life and look at yourself and be like, fucking hell, it's everything that I always wanted, and it's even better. Mind blown. So there is a deep integration process that is happening within me. Like, yesterday I had this very intense experience, and it's like a psychedelic experience. Like, after, you just feel like, oh, you want so much. Yeah, beautiful. How are you feeling today, Victory? You know, I needed that comfort. I needed, like, I usually sleep naked, and yesterday, you know, I just put my super soft, I had my cashmere on me, like, being super soft, like, I needed that reassurance, I needed, I had, you know, this super soft fabrics on me. Yesterday, I was like, okay, this is integration. I activated my power. I realized, like, I'm my fucking own shaman, my own healer, my own medicine woman, my own whatever title. Doesn't matter. I was just like, oh my God, and like my gifts and my intuitive and spiritual gifts are so activated, and I can see stuff and I can have access to, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, this is an LSD journey. And then I was like, oh my God, like, I need to come back. I need to integrate that. And that's also why I came on live today instead of hiding behind my podcast. I might turn this live in a podcast. I don't know. It's because I was like, okay, you want to be seen in every aspect of yourself and be yourself. Here you are. Here is the test. Here is the, like, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I am so happy because I really, my intention is really that like it also activate your own medicine, whoever, like, and I, you know, again, I know that this information will come across the right people at the right time. So if you're listening to that, there were birds. This is how easily I get distracted. I'm great. Hope you're too. Yes, I am great. I am amazing. Soft and tender and powerful. And that's why I realized this morning as well. I was like, I can like I was either like, oh my God, I'm fully on and I'm so juicy and I'm so sensual and I'm so confident and here I am and look at me. Or I was like, oh my God, like I don't love myself and what's going on. And like yesterday and this morning I was just in this very tender, really soft moment. And I was like, and I was talking to myself again, using my own voice. Like my voice is my healing right now. And I was talking to myself, and in my voice I could feel my own power even in this moment. Even in this moment of like feeling more, you know, like low energy. It's not even low energy, but more vulnerable. And I was like, oh my God, I actually have power even in those moments. That's so juicy. That's so cool. Okay, it's like 1555. It's the perfect cosmic time to end this live. I am so happy if you joined along the way. I'm so happy if you went all the way to this moment. I honor your time and your presence, and I'm so happy we are connected. And again, there is no coincidence. You're not just scrolling Instagram and like watching me up until this moment for no reason. So if we are connected right now, our soul are connected in this present moment, and I am so grateful for that. I'm so happy. I'm really in a connected mode, so I connect with your heart. And welcome into my world, and thank you for being here. And this is not 155 anymore because I'm talking and I could talk all day. Have a beautiful rest of your day.